kitchen for another episode of Raspberry Coconut. Today I'm going to be making cauliflower rice. This recipe is about as old as Atkins, and I like to use it in any dish that calls for regular rice, just to make it a little bit more low carb and a little bit more nutritious. So there are only two ingredients you really need to make cauliflower rice. I've cut up a head of cauliflower. I got it on sale at Giant Eagle. And you can use the whole thing. That includes the base of the cauliflower. So just cut it up, rinse it off, get it nice and clean. And I'm going to use my food processor. If you don't have a food processor, you can use a hand grater. It's just going to take you a little bit more time. And I'm using my small shredder blade. And if you like it chunkier, you can use a large shredder blade, but I wouldn't recommend a grater, as that just kind of makes it grainy. So I'm going to set up my food processor. And this is a Kenmore Elite that I picked up at Sears about a year ago. I'm just going to add my chunks of cauliflower until it's full. Just process them. Skillet. I'm using the biggest skillet that I have because you don't want to crowd your cauliflower or it'll get soggy. You want it nice and brown and crispy. So I'm heating it to medium-high. I think my food processor is about full, so I'll do the rest later. Just to give you an idea of what you're going to get. You want to get a shot of the food processor. It's nice and about the size of rice. Like I said, if you like it a little chunkier, you can use a coarser grate. Okay, now I'm going to get my fat, and I'm just using coconut oil. Sometimes I use ghee if I have it. You can use butter, any oil that'll stand up to high heat. I'm just going to take about a tablespoon of it, put it in my pan. Sometimes I mix coconut oil and ghee too. That's especially great with Indian food. Just let it melt in there and spread it around. Now just take your cauliflower and you're going to drop it in there. Now, like I said, you don't want to crowd your cauliflower, so if it doesn't all fit in your pan, get it about an inch thick at the most. If it doesn't all fit in your pan, you can cook it up in a second batch. You can use a second frying pan, or you can just put it in the fridge until you're ready to use it. I wouldn't recommend cooking it beforehand. I like to make up a nice fresh batch every time that I have dinner, if I'm going to use cauliflower rice. It does freeze well if it's cooked already, but I wouldn't use it as a standalone as rice. I'd put it in like a casserole or something because it does get a tiny bit soggy. So it's sat in there for about a minute. I just want to toss it just to coat it in the fat for the first time. Pat it back down, and I'm just going to let it sit for about 5 minutes. Okay, now that the rice is set for about 5 minutes, I'm going to add my salt and pepper. And I'm just going to lift from the bottom. You see how it's nice and brown where it's cooked? Just going to toss it around. Let some of that steam escape. You're going to pat it back down. Alright, and you're just going to continue to do this for another 2 to 3 minutes, just until your entire dish of rice is nice and toasty brown. And like I said, you can put it in any dish that you would use regular rice in. I hope you enjoyed my show, and I hope you tune in next time.